I haven't heard in the news yet, but I know today is a very important day in France, and I hope that the people of France, well, two things. First of all, that this election today will find a way for the people to come together. And also knowing that they've already come together with the latest episode of the police shooting in Paris, and to know how they have undergone such fear and uncertainty as to when and where there might be another attack. So I would like to lift up the people of France, especially in your prayers this morning. Are there any other prayers you would like to offer up? Let us be in the spirit of prayer. Loving God, we lift up to you this day and dry the tears of all those who weep and bring hope and comfort to all who mourn. We give you thanks for the peace of Christ and the signs of his sovereignty over life. We cannot hide from your presence, O Holy One. Our needs are all known to you. We are an open book to the one who created us, and you have sent your Son, Jesus, to be our intercessor and our Redeemer. We give you thanks that through him we can approach you with trust and confidence. We give thanks for all providence and care for creation. You reign supreme in the spirit of suspicion, destruction, and greed. Implant within us the peace that Christ bestowed upon us and bestowed particularly on his frightened disciples. Send us forth in spirit with wisdom to resolve differences, grace to those who dislike us, and vision to strive in harmony in the midst of the discord and strife surrounding us. We give thanks for the forgiveness offered freely to all through Christ's resurrection of the dead. And from now on, we can live confident in your grace. Help us to awaken to the assurance of Easter and to be more attuned to the mercies you bestow. Deliver us from bondage to limit, both real and imagined, from principalities and powers that seek to crush us. Let the light of Christ dispel the shadows, making bright the pathway that you would have us walk. You are the source of our sanctuary, the haven to whom we can turn in times of distress. You are the judge of our decisions and actions, and we give you thanks for all the abiding forbearance as promised through Christ Jesus, who taught us to pray these words. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Our first reading today comes from the book of Revelation, the first chapter, beginning at the 4th verse. And in your Pew Bible, you will find this on page 1072. John to the 7 churches that are in Asia. Grace to you and peace from him who is and who was and who is to come, and from the 7 spirits who are before his throne, and from Jesus Christ, the faithful witness, the firstborn of the dead, and the ruler of the kings of the earth. To him who loves us and freed us from our sins by his blood, and made us to be a kingdom, priests serving his God and Father, to him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Look, he is coming with the clouds. Every eye will see him, even those who pierced him. And on his account all the tribes of the earth will wail. So it is to be. I am the Alpha and the Omega, says the Lord God, who is and who was and who is to come, the Almighty. And our gospel reading today comes from the Gospel of John, the 20th chapter, beginning at verse 19. And as somebody with a husband, a son, and a grandson whose first name is Thomas, I like this lesson. When it was evening on that day, the first day of the week, and the doors of the house where the disciples had met were locked in fear for their lives, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, so I send you." When he had said this, he breathed on them and said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive the sins of any, they are forgiven them. If you retain the sins of any, they are retained." But Thomas, who was called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hand, and put my finger in the mark of the nails in my hand in his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were shut, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have come to believe." Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may come to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that through believing you may have life in his name. Here ends the gospel reading, and our next hymn is number 317, and we'll sing verses 1 and 6 through 9.
fine. Sorry about that.